Hello, everybody. It's Rick, and you can reach Rick at Rick RICK 0327 at me.com. Okay, I got that out of the way. Today's February 21st, 2017. All right, this is the a notice of demand to vacate, and what it is I added the Federal Rule 60, subsection B4. The old one, it doesn't have it, but it doesn't have to really have it because I described it. All right, I just added it for anybody that's new coming along. If anybody that has this already, all you got to do, you could add it yourself. Like here, you already have the paperwork, so you don't got to hit me up and go, hey Rick, can you send me the new one? Because all you got to do is go to this website here, or this, remember yesterday I couldn't remember the case law. It's 28 USC right there. All right, requires that all orders must be signed and issued under a seal. Okay, and the case law that I couldn't remember right here is Scanby versus Tryon. These are all the case laws right here. So what you do is you just click on all of these, and if you want, you just copy and paste it and use it in the the paperwork. All right. Here's the case law. The district court held that the injunction signed only by a deputy clerk, right? We see that right there, is void, right? For want of a judicial signature. Section 1691, blah blah blah. Okay. All writs in process. Now this is the law. All writs in process issuing from a court, right? Supposedly family courts are courts, right? We are in the United States, right? Shall be under the seal and signed by the clerk thereof. Very, very simple. Remember the video I did with Donald Trump last week? These lawyers and judges, see, that's their value. Their value comes in trying to interpret complicated laws, except most laws aren't complicated. Oops. Sorry. It's not complicated. So if you have a third grade reading level, okay, you can pretty much figure this stuff out. They don't want you to know it. See, I didn't realize that I was a pretty bright guy all of these years because I just, I was always asking questions and I would get these dumb answers from these attorneys. I'll give you a great example. I mean, everybody knows, I've said it a million times, I used to be a cop. So, and also I was an active cop. So I was in family court a lot. I used to lock up juvenile kids who were mules bringing drugs from New York to Jersey. It wasn't like I was destroying their life because they were mules on purpose, because the drug dealers knew if they got caught, they weren't going to do any time, and the worst thing that happens is their drugs got taken. So I'd find the drugs, I'd make the arrest, and usually like the next day when I'm coming out of we used to have a video conference to talk to the assistant district attorney. Right about that time, because this would be about, 18 hours later, like around 1 in the afternoon, I'd see the kid going to get on the bus. He'd already been released ROR from court, so it wasn't like I was putting the guy away. I wasn't ruining his life, okay? What happened was I'd make a little bit of money in overtime, and I get caught overtime, They say crime don't pay, but it paid for me. Anyway, so what happened was, I'm going through this family court stuff with just when I had attorneys, and I'm like, I don't understand. I mean, the law says this, the law says that, and then I get the attorney go, yeah, but this is family court. Yeah, but this is, I get this all the time. And I go, no, hold on a second. I go, what's this yeah, but stuff? The courts are courts, laws are law. There's none of this yeah, but stuff. Okay? And that's the truth. Men are so conditioned. This is the reason why someone like myself, I haven't walked into a police station yet to file criminal charges against this piece of shit support magistrate who ruined my life. Because if I go in there, being that I used to be a cop, I know how cops think, and they're going to be like, yeah, but she's a judge. I'm like, no, she's not a judge. She's a support magistrate. Then I'm going to try and explain all of these things, and they're not going to get it. Yeah, but that's in court. You're going to have to get a lawyer. Like they're very, very stupid cops, all right? And most cops who are retired, they won't get an argument from me. I mean, they won't argue with me. So anyway, but here's the thing. Court is court. That's it. And once you know the law and you know the procedures and you know how to write, you can hold these courts to do their job. All right? So that's what we're doing here. So let's get back here. Now, by the way, this is the website. It's lawlessamerica.com. Anybody wants to go here and get some good case laws, have at it. I already had this, and a couple of my subscribers sent it to me yesterday. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. There's another thing that's great about people following me is that I get a lot of good information, and everybody's cool. I said it yesterday. I haven't gotten a complaint. All right, I know my paperwork is sound. I know the price that I'm asking. One guy today goes, "That's all you're asking?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's all I'm asking." I'm not trying to kill anybody. I know everybody's financially hurting. Excuse my New York accent. But I put some time into this, and I'm just trying to crawl out of a hole myself. And I don't believe I'm banging anybody over the head. And I'm gonna let a few people know a little secret. I've given a lot away for free. I mean, I started this affidavit here. The dismissal. It was under a different heading. It was the demand for dismissal, and I had it. I posted it on like December 6th or something like that, and I left it up for almost a month, and I got like 6,500 views. So I gave it away for free for over a month. All right, and and then it occurred to me, hey, if I just asked everybody for a couple of dollars, I could have made some money. And again, I don't feel like I'm monetizing off anybody's misery because I'm giving very good information. A lawyer will never do this for you. Trust me. They all have their secret handshakes. They would never do this. They play stupid all the time. Their value is complicating things and then getting paid to uncomplicate something that's not complicated. All right. So the intention of this demand to vacate, pursuant Federal Rule 60B4, is to show support orders were made in violation of due process. What I do is, what I did was I uncomplicated everything. Let's forget about all these rules and procedures that they're supposed to go by. All right, we're going to use that. I use that later on in this thing, but let's just go on this premise. Hey, this support order is void. That's it. Give me my money back. Ultimately, down the road, we're going to chase these people into a corner that they're going to have to give you your money back. Or it's just, if we don't, then it's just blatant criminality, and then we're going to take it even further, suing the people who are involved. There are a lot of options that we have. And by the way, when that happens, I probably, by that time, will already have, sued a couple people myself, and I get better at this stuff the more my next lawsuit in federal court is going to be a doozy, because all the mistakes that I made, and it wasn't many, I did very good work, but I will not, I'm going to make sure that every presumption is rebutted, because the federal judge did the old, well, they have judicial immunity. Okay, so they're judicially immune for any act that they do. So if a judge walks from behind the bar, walks up to somebody and punches them in the nose, they got immunity? Aren't they doing, listen, a physical punch in the nose and robbing you of your rights is the same thing, as far as I'm concerned, except you got a nosebleed and your bank account is bleeding because either it's frozen or you got to use all your money that you have left over to pay your bills because you're broke. Okay, it's the same thing as far as I'm concerned. All right, I'm going on my tangents, you know how I go. But anyway, all right, so here's a case law I want you to see. Now, what this case law is the court has no discretion. Once we have gathered all the evidence that we're going to have from my affidavits, we're going to go to the court, and they have no discretion. Now, let me read it. Although relief under Rule 60B is subject to review for abuse of discretion, if a judgment is void, it is a per se abuse of discretion for a district court to deny a movant's motion to vacate. United States versus indoor cultivation equipment from high-tech, whatever, The judgment is void and should be vacated. Rule 60b-4. If the court that rendered the judgment acted in a manner inconsistent with due process. That should make everybody feel better. Okay? Because I already gave you so many ways that they violated due process. It's not just the typical due process that we are used to hearing. You know, they wouldn't listen to me. You know, I get these emails, and listen, they're very long, and I know I used to write these long emails myself when I was reaching out to this one and that one for help before I knew I could help myself. And what you're doing is you're venting, and I get it, it's very cool. I type away. I read them all. That's one of the reasons why I don't do the phone call, because half the phone call is telling me stuff that I already know. All your phone calls are the same, man. I know it's like you got screwed. Really, that's what happened. The bottom line is you got screwed, and there's nothing I can tell you to make you feel better other than I have the paperwork to get the stuff rolling. Okay? You're going to send affidavits out to your job. Your job's going to be the first one that's going to help you out, because they're going to be the first ones. Because, by the way, they're not a court of law. So they're not going to be looking to be tricksters and hold the paperwork back. So they're going to be the ones showing you these IWOs without the judicial signature. So there we got a little bit of evidence there. Then the child support enforcement people, they're going to be sending their IWOs and any other stupid statements they make on a piece of paper to you. That's more evidence. And then the doozy is the clerk paperwork. When that comes back, like I had a guy right before I started making this video, I think he's up in Grand Rapids or something like that, and he showed me the order. And by the way, it was signed by a circuit judge, but it was to the untrained eye, it looks like a court order. And even if like you showed it to your employer, they'd be like, "Oh, it's a court order," but that's what this is going to be for. All right, you're going to show it's lacking, right? It's lacking the clerk's signature, right? Under this law, 1691, 28 USC. It had the judge's signature, and then it just said file, enter. No clerk's signature. And by the way, the circuit court is not the clerk's office. There's every county has a clerk's office. That's where you're going to send it to. So let me state it again. Your where is it? Hold on a second here. Let me close this. I'm just showing you what this is all about, and you know you saw enough of it. These are all the affidavits, right? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I got a YouTube link on how to, people who don't know how to cut and paste. And that's okay. I made that video yesterday. I wasn't being sarcastic. A lot of people don't know how to do it. All right. Here we go. That's what I was telling you yesterday. You're gonna put the certified number here. Inquiry to the county clerk. The name of the county clerk. County clerk. The name of the county is respectfully demanded to provide documentation of money judgments, liens, child support order or orders, or arrears for child support. All arrears and child support are supposed to be recorded because arrears is a money judgment. That's what they're claiming. So we're going to send it there, and hopefully their response is we don't have anything. And guess what? Now you're going to take that and you're going to present it with the everything else. Eventually when we end up in the appellate court, it's going to be very difficult for them to prove that due process was followed when they didn't even follow this. And this is just one facet of due process they didn't follow. Excuse me. We got them. It's just, it's a fraud. So, a fraud is a confidence game. How does a confidence game work? It's usually by people who are very nice. They smile. They wear the right clothes. They act the right way. And it's just a fraud. What they're doing is they're making you feel welcome. Except here, what they use intimidation. Like you're in a real court when you're really not. All right, I'm out of time. And I hope everybody enjoys this little video, and you have a nice day.